Hey, what up, guys? It's me again, and welcome to the This Is My Moment podcast. I'm your host, Patrick Mitchell, and you know, at This Is My Moment, it's all about positivity. It's all about fun. Let's go get it.
There ain't no stopping it. This is my moment. Join the movement. We bringing people together, bringing positivity, making changes for the better.
Today, I got a guy with me, man, that's super near and dear to me. Like, he's known my family before This Is My Moment, before all of this stuff that you see me doing now. This guy goes back with me. He actually knew Heather and the kids before he knew me. Introduce yourself.
Hey, glad to. Thanks, Patrick. So my name's Rodney Brooker. Like you said, I've known Patrick and his family for many years. I was actually reflecting on that a couple of weeks ago when you asked me to join this.
Yeah.
And I remember when I met Heather.
Yeah.
And so you said you love stories. So I want to tell you, I'll never forget it. We're at basketball practice.
Yeah.
They're at Ramstein High School.
Yeah.
And we're there, and Heather comes out, and she's in uniform, and I think Zay was with her. And next thing you know, we're chatting. She's like, "Well, I just PCS'd in."
Yeah.
And I already knew from previous experience that, with the military, people move in and out.
Yeah.
I'm like, no problem.
Yeah.
Go see coach after practice. He'll talk to you. He'll probably invite Zay to come out to practice tomorrow for a couple of days. And that was the start, man. You're right. And that was the start. I think you were all playing somewheres in the desert. You were building sandcastles somewhere. So
no castle, brother.
Like you said, Patrick, man, it was great. We met, I'm retired Air Force as well. So man, it was a blast. I did probably too many years, but I did stick around for 24 active duty years, and I had a couple of years prior to that in the Georgia Air National Guard, which I got to throw it out. I'm a big Bulldog fan. And don't give me no lip. The Dogs are true and blue this year, man. They gonna turn this. I hear the yap about Ohio State. Nah, man. Ohio, we got it. We got it. We're gonna take Alabama down. And we're just going to roll all the way in.
Go get it.
Now, I have a hard time because I'm out here on the edge of the SEC conference, living in Texas. I live just north of Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. And with my lovely wife of 32 years, I'll have to throw that out there. She's tolerated me for a long time. And I got a great job. Man, I work for the Chickasaw Nation there in Oklahoma. Yeah. And they take good care of their employees. I love working for them.
Good.
It's wake up and go to work, and that I enjoy doing.
I dig that. So I'm gonna tell you a story, Rodney, Mr. Coach with me. So a lot of people don't know that before This Is My Moment, I coached basketball in Germany, right? And I had this assistant coach that coached with me in B2B, right? And I believe we were in Austria. And we had the boys, we was coaching 15U basketball. His son was on the team. My son was on the team. We had about 13 other kids, give or take. And we're playing this team from Iran. And these kids ain't kids like these. Remember them kids, man? They was like adult size.
Yes,
like,
they
no
were.
way these kids was 15. Our kids look 15. These kids look like they should have been in JUCO somewhere. Like they was big. Like it was ridiculous. Like these are D1 kids going to get some they little brothers. Like it was bad. And I remember Jacob coming to the side. I don't know if you remember this part. Hey, it's not a lot that I remember, but I remember Jacob coming, right? He said, "Coach," he stepped on my face. Hey, what? Hey, I'm looking at him, Rodney. I'm looking at him, right? I'm like, how did he step on your face? I don't know, Coach. I don't know. So we sit him down, man, and they politely ran us out the gym.
Yes, he did. Them and a couple other teams from that tournament, if I remember right.
Yeah.
I think we packed our bags in humility, and we were like, but it was fun. It was fun.
It was like, how many times do you get to go to Austria and play teams from all around the world, Rodney?
The one thing that I truly admire about you, and I remember from that Austria trip, was, I think it was the Indian team, the team from India.
I know where you're going.
And I'm going to tell y'all what, folks, here we are. We play this team and we're watching them and we know we're getting ready to play them. And everybody, man, we're open the can on them. That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
And Pat's like, I can't let our guys do that to us.
Yeah.
So he says, Rodney, you're going to take the team. I got a surprise. Man, I look up. He's sitting over there with these young kids out of India, and he's coaching them. And he coaches them through that entire basketball game. Even though our boys were running them, and he had them, they did score points. And that was what's most important. That just the fact they knew we were going to beat them. But those kids, the impact you had on them, Patrick, was just, I'll never forget that. We whooped them by over 100 points, but they scored 10 points, I believe. It was like they scored, and the fact they scored was all that mattered. And they were walking home, going home with their heads held high. And that is what this is my moment. That's just true and dear. I'll never forget it.
I know we've had a lot of time together, and it's been a while. Well, not a while. We talk a lot. But what makes you smile now, man? Getting out the service, you know what I mean? What's making Rodney smile? What's keeping you positive, brother?
Well, I'm just waking up every day. I mean, when I wake up, to me, you got to start the day off positive.
Yeah.
And if you start the day off positive and you keep it positive, you're going to have some rough days. You're going to have some low days. Yeah. And you're going to deal with challenges that don't take it personal.
Yeah.
And you just, as long as you take it as it is okay, this task didn't work out like I wanted to. Yeah. How do I adjust?
Yeah.
And just make those adjustments. And that's life, man. That is life. I got humbled about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Man, there is nothing like, we're going into the pandemic, and trust me, I'm downtown Dallas, man. I'm driving a 24-foot truck in downtown Dallas. And I can do that because there's nobody there. This is like February, March of 2020. Yeah. And I'm driving around. So I'm thinking I've made myself useful. Yeah. Well, couple days later, I get this appointment notice. And it's a Monday morning AM appointment notice. And boy, that humbled me up quick. Yeah. And I knew what was coming. And sure enough, our business had taken such a massive hit, they started laying off. Oh. And I'm going to tell you what, 32 years with the U.S. government, and then coming out into the private sector, going to work. Yeah. And then you get that pink slip saying, hey, I'm sorry, we don't need you. We're hurting. Yeah. We don't have enough to carry you. And that humbled me. But did that let that get me down? Oh, I'm not going to lie. I sat around and watched TV for several weeks, and my wife says, it's time to get up and get moving. But shout out, Helen. It's one of those, it's just one of those moments that you got to wake up. There's really harsh things in life that you have to deal with. Yeah. This year I dealt with my mother passing. Yeah. But you know what? The day she passed, I was there smiling by her bedside. Yeah. And when she passed, I was sitting there and I was smiling by her bedside. It's how you approach the situation. My man. And that's how I think I deal with day to day. It's just, you got to smile, man.
You know what's funny, man? And we know we've been friends for almost, 13 years now, 11, 12, 13 years. Yep. And we're getting older and we're running out of summers. So a lot of these things, man, we starting to have to look at it different than when we're used to. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of, this is my moment for me. It's like right now, like tomorrow, maybe not here. I might be running out of summers. And for me, the pandemic showed that no age is off limits. No age is off limits. You don't know how many summers you got on your name. You don't know how much more time you got on your books. So if you're not out there smiling and getting it, Rodney, you're doing it wrong.
Amen. I'm going to tell you what, I agree with that so much. It is unbelievable. I go home and visit my dad. My dad's not doing well either. And severe case of dementia. But, when I'm sitting there with him and, I'm help feeding him and help taking care of him, when he looks over at me and just smiles.
That's it.
Man, that it doesn't matter how much that truck cost me, how much time I had to take off. It's that moment in time, man, is what it is all about.
You can't get it back.
This is my moment, and I will take every moment I can get.
My brother. You know what's funny? I was just I was at a school the other day talking, and I told them, for me, this is just my personal opinion. It's two things that we can't get more of: land. Whatever is on earth is on earth. Like, you're not building on side of earth like it's a project, right? Like, whatever God gave us is what we got. And the second thing that we can't get more of is time. No matter how much money you got, no matter how poor you are, no matter how you step, no matter how you live, whatever's on your books is on your books, man. And you getting it, and we're living it right now, and we're taking advantage of our summers, brother. And I'm glad to know you, and I'm glad you're out there smiling, man. I enjoy talking to you. I always have. I'm gonna tell another story real quick before I ask you this other question. You remember when we were in Southern Germany, man, and we won our first championship? You know, that's where it all started, man. You remember that?
Yes,
we're at the game, right? And we got Bailey, man. And Bailey, you know, Bailey can go, man. And me and you, like, we were always like, we were like the odd couple, right? Like, you got this tall black guy, right, bald head, then you got this half tall white guy, bald head. Like, we're out there looking like Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger and twins, right? But we was kicking people's butt. Like, we made a great team. And you know what's funny, man, is we've always been really good friends, man. And you came to some of my games when I was doing the coaching here, man. And you stopped by the house on your way home, man, and all that stuff. It don't go unnoticed, man. Next question. What's the biggest misconception that you had once you retired? When you left the service, you thought your life was going to be something. Then it turned out to be different because of something that you didn't know. What's the biggest misconception that you had when you left and came over here to the civilian side? What happened?
Wow, misconception is, one, I thought the transition would be a lot harder than what it was. You know, being in Germany, I was working on base.
Yeah.
And you've already established those relationships
out
there, whether it's, with the youth, or it's with the parents,
right,
or it's with, your military members.
Right.
And I remember I was just walking around and everybody would say, Sir Brooker, Sir Brooker. And I'm like, no. You turn around and, I was clean shaven and I still had a high and tight haircut when a little bit of hair could grow.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't deal with this. So I started growing this is why I started doing the goatee.
Yeah.
It's like, when people see the goatee, they automatically know, well, you're not military. No way. Or they'll ask you the question, when you heading down range? Neither one, brother. I am just going to grow this.
Yeah.
And I started shaving my head because I learned it was I didn't realize how gray it was until I started growing it out.
Right.
But it was I thought the transition would be very difficult and I wouldn't get over that need. And if you've been in the military and you've been out there with that with your brothers and sisters in arms, and you're communicating with them and how you deal with them, it's like, how do you deal with the world? And you find out that those relationships are things you'll never forget.
Yeah.
But they're not the only relationships. What you've got to enjoy is making the new relationships. And you don't know about that. And Pat, as we learn, I don't have a problem starting a conversation with you or anybody else. I have talked to people from the Netherlands and I don't speak a foreign language. I'm ashamed to say, spent 12 years in Germany. And I don't speak a lick of German, but I can sit there and chat with a German and we can get through some conversations. And that doesn't matter what country you're at. You sit down and you just start kind of talking and you work through it. I mean, you pick up your cell phone and you start, doing Google Translate real quick, and then you're both doing it, and now you're having a conversation, and you're making it work. But even taking it into life, man, it's that transition. You learn how to adapt, and if you can adapt, man, then it's complicated. And that's what I was afraid of the most. But you know what? I wake up every morning with a smile on my face. Now, what I may not do is walk the dogs like I'm supposed to do in the morning, but I do get up and I do go to my office and get online and start my day off working with a great team.
Yeah.
So
that's what's up, brother.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what, man, you're looking good too, G.
I know, man. If
You're good.
I haven't seen you in a while, man. You'll be surprised. I'm
looking
down.
at you.
I've kind of worked on it a little bit. I've been doing some serious walking.
Oh, you're gonna mess around and make me start walking.
Oh, it's time, man. It's time.
Hey, I
Feeling
see
better.
I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, boy,
So,
look
I don't have
good.
the puffiness in my cheeks anymore. It's kind of come down a little bit.
That's all right. Hey, good for you, Rodney, man. I like that. Good luck.
Thank you.
What's your happy place? What's your happy place?
My happy place. Well, I'll call it a seasonal.
Okay. Oh, we got a happy season. Okay.
So we got seasonal happy place. About year round, anything with the family.
Yeah.
Is my happy place.
Dig it.
As long as they're doing good, everybody's healthy. I'm always, whether it's here or back in Georgia with my parents.
Yeah.
It's always a happy place. However, I had to really think on this one. And my true happy place is probably Saturdays. Get a little sports center going. And that's why I say it's seasonal, man.
You ain't finna give me no Bulldog stuff, are you?
Man, I am ready to rock and roll on Saturday morning. And something happened here a couple of weeks ago.
Talk to me.
Boy, I was in panic mode. Somebody decided they didn't like the contract agreement, so we hear a few subscribers with this one company didn't get ESPN or Southeast Conference Network for 2 days, and it happened to be on a Saturday and Sunday. And man, boy, you talking about leaving your happy place? I left my happy place quick. But Monday morning, woke up, everything was good, and man, and I'm back there sitting there watching some football. So, and then come on, folks, when Sunday wakes up, it's no longer the college day. It's all about the NFL. And Pat, you're gonna hate me.
Go.
The Cowboys are rocking, man. The Cowboys. That's my happy place on Sundays right now. So, and you know what the best part about it is?
What?
My favorite lady. She loves to sit down with me and watch those ball games with me. We'll be high-fiving. She will, whatever it may be. We're doing it together. And I'll have to say that is really when I'm sitting in my happy place, is when I'm spending time with my family.
I like it.
And especially on football day.
I ride with the Houston Texans, and we ain't doing that good. But I like the way that Texas is looking. So here we go. When you having one of your bad days, right, and it's not going so well, you get up, maybe the day start off bad, or something happened at the job, or something happened with one of the kids, and you got to get back in it, right? What motivates you? Like when you think to yourself, like, what quote do you go to that gets you back to where you can be Rodney?
I'm going to split that question up.
Go ahead.
Because there's a favorite quote, and I had to look it up, and I've looked this up before, and I was really shocked at who actually started the quote, and it's changed over the years.
Yeah.
But I'll get to that in a second.
You got it.
The one thing that just makes me, especially, and it happened, like I said, in 2020, man, you wake up, you got no job. You got no pay.
Yeah.
I'm lucky I'm, retired military, and I got a little bit of income coming in.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you what. We all do it, man. We make plans.
Yeah.
And we live off our plan.
Yeah.
And when somebody disrupts that plan, well, you start looking, I mean, trust me, I was thinking about Walmart, and I was thinking about Tom Thumb. I was thinking about some of these other, I had deadlines.
Yeah.
I was willing to go to work. And, but with that is to get through those days is what's the outcome you're looking for? And I can sit here and be miserable all day long.
Yeah.
Or I can say, what's that outcome that's going to get me off my keister and get me that positive attitude. And what do I need to do to work through that? Sometimes it may be, boy, I got good at YouTube. I got good at LinkedIn. I got good at finding jobs. And, how can I, and during that time is all I need to do is how can I get a recruiter to call me?
Yeah.
And there would be days I would get, I'd send out, and it's easy to do this, but I'd send out 30, 40, 50 applications in a day very quickly, utilizing the tools of the internet.
Right.
And so just by reaching a certain goal of how many of this task, I set a goal and I would complete that, and that would improve my mood. And that's what I found is you've got to figure out something for that day. And it may be a Saturday, and it may be, I may need to go mow the yard. Let me just mow the yard this morning, get one positive thing. One, sometimes just doing something will drive you and the day gets better.
Yeah.
And if nothing else fails, the one thing that I learned that really motivated me is I just go over to my wife, tell her I love her, and give her a hug. And I'm going to tell you what, you'll have plenty of listeners and a bunch of fans who will say the spouse is always there, and they truly are. So that's what it's about.
You got it, man. You all mush. I didn't know you had this mushy side in your book.
Well, so I was trying to think some other good stories for you, but which takes me straight to the quote. I want to get to the quote because I've listened. When I was prepping for and everything,
you did some homework on me.
My quote.
Hang on.
What's that?
Homework on me?
I did homework on you, man. I wanted to make sure. I'm not coming into this blind, but I didn't get to the questions. So, but this quote was given to me when I was a young NCO, probably even an airman. But if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail.
Yeah.
All right. And I know another friend of yours used the same quote, and I was like, oh man, that's my quote. I love that quote. Yeah. But and that's the original quote is from Benjamin Franklin.
Okay.
Okay. So we're talking the start of the New World.
Yeah.
That's how far back. We settled in the 1400s, but as we're starting to really colonize some of the Americans that led us, and whatever track they led us down, but we're getting better.
Yeah.
But it still holds. And and I'll say this: the first time I heard it, I'll never forget, was with an insurance salesman. That's who told me the quote, but he couldn't tell me who quoted it. But Benjamin Franklin come up with that quote, and I think it really fits to how I operate day to day.
Yeah.
I mean, I get up, I have a plan for the day. Man, my plan may be to work 8 hours, maybe to work 10 hours, and then I may have something to do after work. It's the simplest plans. Or it may be trying to plan for stuff further out.
Yeah.
And it's planning for life. And if there's one thing I love to teach, and I remember it, if you, and I will never forget you for this, is you taught me is when we were running those camps. And if you remember, I ran those camps for about, I want to say almost 18 straight months.
Yeah.
And I remember you were getting burned out pretty quick. And I'm talking about the basketball camps that we used to do at the Ramstein gym there.
Yeah.
Every Tuesday and Thursday, we'd get the gym and we'd go in there, and it started out with about 10, 15 kids, and we'd get a 5-on-5 rotation going. Well, man, if you remember, we woke up one morning or one evening, we looked over and we had 50 kids in the gym. And they ranged from the age of, I want to say 9, 10 years old, up to 18 years old. We were reaching out. All these kids, they just wanted to come and play basketball. Yeah. We would teach them a little bit of something, and we would follow a schedule. We'd follow a plan for that day. We just recycled that plan, and we recycled it over and over. And I remember when you and I finally gave up coaching, that's when Coach O'Connor from Ramstown High School said, Rodney,
went to the school.
I'm going to take over the varsity next year. You want to come over and join me?
I remember.
And I was like, man, that's so tempting. Let me get back to you. Sure enough, I went back, and that was and it was the same thing.
Yeah.
We had a plan.
Yep.
We went by that plan.
Yep.
For 4 months. 4 months. And then I got to, as I'm digging into this, it is in everything we do. In the military, we had a plan. We would not deploy a unit without a plan.
Yeah.
We got to, and I'll never forget, the first time I ever saw it in action was when I was with the Guard in Georgia, man.
Yeah.
We're on a bivouac. And for those who don't know what a bivouac is, it's just a simple little exercise. You go out 36 hours. We'd set up camp, and then we turn on our communication. It was tactical comm is what I was in. And the first thing was a particular tent went up, and it was, just call it the MWR tent. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
And this MWR tent went up, and I kid you not, everything, once they identified where that is, everybody went into action.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, 2 hours later, you got a full-blown base built off of that simple plan.
Yeah.
You put the first peg into the hole, and then everything else follows. And that's life, man. That's what this is all about.
You know what's funny, man? You've been with me for a long time with this basketball, man. We've been doing it a long time. And we wasn't too bad neither, brother.
No, we weren't.
We wasn't too bad. So I got some questions for you. At the end of the episode, and this is episode number 11. So it's been a good run so far. I always like to finish with a game. Just like always, guys, he knew the questions and he had some really good answers, and I'm impressed. But these last 3, he ain't got them. He don't know them. You ready?
I'm ready.
You get 2 choices, no bailout. Words, phrases, you got to pick. All right? Let's go to work. Active duty, retirement. Where you at?
Retirement.
Hey, you ain't even think about it.
I don't have to, man. Retirement. I love the life. Man, when I was young, I loved active duty. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
If you'd asked me when I was 30 years old that question, I'd have been all active duty. As I got past those ages and got up there and where you now have these fully grays, you learn the word retirement. And it's funny because I was in a call earlier today on a plan. I'm planning out my retirement. I'm thinking ahead.
Yeah.
The guys asked me, when are you going to retire? Like, finally. And I was thinking, not today and not next year, not when I'm 60, not when I'm 65, maybe 70.
Yeah.
Maybe 75. I don't know. It's when we stop having fun. And right now, retirement. I love retirement.
Too easy. All right. Next one. Coaching, winning championships, or watching our boys win championships in the back to basics USA games. Where you going?
I'm going to go with watching. Because you know what?
Why?
I enjoyed the coaching and I have fun, but you miss a lot. And watching the boys was just when I missed those when we were doing that before we started coaching. I enjoyed every minute of it. I love just whether it was Jacob, Xavier, all those boys, especially in the early high school days, we were watching them and we were up there in the stands going, "Go, no, coach, travel." Oh, man, block. So I remember being up there in those stands getting rowdy with the rest of the parents. And I really enjoyed that. And even though, somebody would say, "Rodney, can you help me coach?" I would go help.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed watching. And that was one thing, I was a volunteer coach. So I was there. I was the dedicated parent who sat there on the sideline.
Yeah.
And we start doing it at a young age with the kids. So it was a non-hesitant question for me.
Yeah.
Hey, can you help coach? Sure, I don't mind.
Yeah. So we going with watching over coaching.
Watching over coaching. That's where I'm at today.
Too easy. Last one. When I tell you this is my moment, what's the first thing comes to your mind?
My accomplishments that got me to today.
Mm.
How I did it. This is my moment because I wouldn't be sitting here if I didn't have some successes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think I'm here because a lot of my life and a lot of the upbringing, which, I didn't mention this earlier. I'm an Eagle Scout.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew that, but I was, I started scouting. And when I was at Ramstein, before I retired, I was a scoutmaster there for one of the troops.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed watching them. I was a little archaic probably for the scouting because things changed. But with that being said, it was what we instilled and what was instilled in me and my accomplishments. But how I got to this was I took advantage of my moments. I just took advantage of them. I didn't abuse them. I don't think I'm abusing them today.
Yeah.
But I did stress them. And you just, like you said, you got to take advantage where you can in life. If you have an opportunity, you got to weigh the balances, and sometimes the risk is worth it. I mean, who knew, just by a simple Rodney, I need you to have assistant coach. We need a second parent, be on the back to basic team. Yeah. And I'm like, we're going to have Pat be the primary coach and you be the backup coach.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I'll do it. It's just taking those moments when the opportunity is given, because like you said, we were, I want to say we knew each other because our boys were in basketball.
Yeah.
But when we started getting out on those courts and teaching the discipline and all that with these boys, that just kind of enlightened me, and the various pillars we installed into them on the basis of life.
Yeah.
And it's like every moment, I thank the Lord every day.
Yeah.
For trust me, when I open my eyes, I thank him.
Yeah.
Because he's starting my day off right. And I just got to appreciate that for the rest of the day. So you kind of said it earlier. He's got it mapped out for us. We have no control. He can take us anytime. Yeah. And as I've learned with my mother here, I take advantage of every day. And every day is my moment. And I'm going to keep that. And that's what this is about. And Pat, I appreciate you, man. I can't say that enough.
I love you too, Rodney.
Man,
that's my guy. That's my guy. Man, that's it, brother. We done.
That was easy. I thought you said this was going to be hard, man.
I thought
you said it was a quiz. I'm ready for you.
You knocked it out the park, man. Hey, this is the deal, man. I'm glad that you were there for my family when I wasn't. You were pretty much in it from that point on. And all these years, man, we've still been there. All I got to do is call. All you got to do is call, and the conversation is always easy. You know what I mean? I appreciate it, brother. Everything. Tell Helen and the kids we said hello over here, and we still coming down for barbecue.
I'm ready, man. I have got the grill, and we're going. Matter of fact, I'm thinking about upgrading.
Hey, guys, that's it. If you don't understand that every moment is your moment, you got to make the most of them. Every day that you wake up, use your blessing wisely. Enjoy your moment. Don't get so caught up in the day-to-day activities that you miss out on opportunities to be successful and to grow and to help others. Man, just like Rodney said, man, every moment is your moment. Guys, that's it. Go get it.
There ain't no stopping it. This is my moment. Join the movement. We bringing people together, bringing positivity, making changes for the better.